17. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we're into the subunits now. This is hip hop team Trauma. All right. All right, so we got S. Coops, Anu, Mingyu, and Vernon is hip hop. Got it.
I'm in trauma, it's got me sad. Stuck in trauma, 노래나 부를래. Blah 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 blah, 아니 저저왜. This my trauma, yeah, my trauma, yeah. Trauma got me bad, bad. 중2 때 난 자퇴, basically ain't no friend. Boxed in, 나 혼자의 세계. Stuck in my fantasy life, dreaming it to be real life. 생각 없이 가 기다려왔지만 알았어 now I realize 이러다가 now low 남을 거야 I don't know what to do 이거 말고 막힌 귀 속 박힌 earphone 볼륨을 키워 I don't wanna be alone 잊혀지기 싫어.
Ooh, love that sound.
Sing the song anybody 듣고 있어. 겨우 뱉어내는 숨 들이키는 법은 잊은 듯 내 자신에게 너그러워지기까지가 난 제일 어려워. 이지라고 생각이 들어 나에게 주어지는 빛이 넓어지는 무드와 달리 맘속 내가 있는 곳은 한평 남지. I'm in trauma, it's got me sad. Stuck in trauma, 노래나 부를래. Blah 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 blah, 아니 저저왜. This my trauma, yeah, my trauma, yeah. Now it's got me sad, sad, sad. Stuck in trauma, 노래나 부를래. This my trauma, yeah, my trauma, yeah.
This is quite the imagery here. So this would be kind of interesting to kind of break down as we go.
잊혀지는 것에 대한 익숙함 나의 미숙함 나의 의구심 속에서 피어나 머릿속 트라우마 내가 살아있는 이유가 도대체 뭘까 미꾸라지처럼 일부가 날 괴롭혀 애석해도 난 그냥 노래하기 아님 더 갇혀버려 내 트라우마에 정신이 비폐해지면 스스로 땅굴을 파 더 깊어지네 Yeah, 더 깊고 더 깊게 스스로도 찾지 못하게 이 트라우마의 끝이 어딘지 나조차 몰라 잡아줄 손이 필요해. 겨우 뱉어내는 숨 들이키는 법은 잊은 듯 내 자신에게 너그러워지기까지가 난 제일 어려워. 이지라고 생각이 들어 나에게 주어지는 빛이 넓어지는 무드와 달리 맘속 내가 있는 곳은 한평 남지. I'm in trauma, it's got me sad. Stuck in trauma, 노래나 부를래. Blah 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 blah, 아니 저저왜. This my trauma, yeah, my trauma, yeah. Now it's got me sad, sad, sad. Stuck in trauma, 노래나 부를래. This my trauma, yeah, my trauma, yeah. Yeah, 소리 sing, yeah, 노래 소리도 줄어들겠지. Sit on what to sing, yeah, 누구든 좋으니 여기서 꺼내줘 아니면 뭐라도 들어와 줘. Now it's got me sad, sad, sad. Stuck in trauma, 노래나 부를래. This my trauma, yeah, my trauma, yeah.
Wow. Damn, that was good. Let's check out the lyrics, shall we? Okay. Let me give you this last shot. And see kind of the whole piece. There we go. The different rooms. All right. So Rika says they each wrote their own verses. So here's what I got for the lyrics. I'm going to read them through. We said this was the hip hop team Trauma. Mingyu. And this is the chorus. I'm in trauma. It's got me singing. Stuck in trauma. I just want to sing. Blah, 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 blah. Why can't I forget? That's my trauma. Yeah, my trauma. Verse 1, Vernon. Trauma got me bad. I dropped out of school in 8th grade. Basically, had no friends. Boxed in my own world. Stuck in my fantasy like, whew, dreaming it to be real life. I waited without thinking, but okay, I realize I'll just be alone like this. I don't know what to do except for this. Stuffing ear with earphone with the volume increased. I don't want to be alone because I don't want to forget. I'm going to sing this song. Anybody listening? S. Coops comes in with the pre-chorus. I'm barely breathing like I forgot how. It's too hard for me to be lenient with myself. Feels like debt, all the light on me. The stage is getting bigger, but the place in my heart is so small. Back to the chorus, stuck in trauma. Verse 2, Anu. Accustomed to being forgotten, that is my immaturity. Trauma arising from my doubts. What is the reason I'm alive? Like a mudfish, some parts unfortunately make me miserable. I just want to sing, or else I'll be more trapped in my trauma. My mind has become impoverished. Deeper and deeper, I can't even find myself. Where is the end to this trauma? I don't even know. I need a hand to hold. I'm barely breathing like I forgot how. S. Coops on the bridge. I slowly sink. The songs will decrease too. Still, I want to sing. Anyone is fine. Please save me. Or else you can come back to me. And now it's got me singing. Stuck in trauma. I just want to sing. Oh, that's my trauma. Wow. Wow. Okay. Damn. So if we look at some of this, now that we kind of have a general understanding and overview of the lyrics, let's look at some of the imagery as it plays out. Now, the first thing that I want to say I noticed, and I would have commented on, but I really just didn't want to keep pausing it and spitting things out, is the window scene. The hell was it? Is it that far out? I thought it was earlier. We had somebody sit next to the damn open window. Not this one. Must have been later. So we've got the fan blowing the sand around. Before I say what I think, this is one of the videos I think is worth kind of diving into just a little bit. What do you think is the meaning behind this scene right here? Sitting on very, very light sand. Light, not white, light. Very small sand and all these fans around. He's on it. What do you think it means? No stability? Pretty good. Anybody else? Bueller? He likes the beach, maybe? He feels dirty. Sandcastle collapse on an island is pretty good. He's sinking. Isolated. Those are pretty good. I think all those are pretty good. Yeah, can collapse easily. It could blow away if he's not careful. So I think that's all pretty good. Lonely is good. I think those are all pretty good. And I'll tell you, my initial thought was the instability aspect, right? Because the sand is so light, but all these fans kind of in every direction, they're just going to blow away the stability that he has. It's very temporary. But I also like the idea of the island and the isolation, because not only do we have kind of the mound that he is sitting on, hypothetically, theoretically, the fans could represent the wind of being on an island, and then all of the color that you see around the scene could be water. So it literally is like he is on an island. He is isolated. He's by himself. There's the sun off to the side, which is the window. I think symbolically, it makes perfect sense. All of those things, spot on. Good for you. Good for you. Yep. Okay, next part. Oh, that's a good point too. So Tasia says the fans could be a double meaning too, with actual fans of the group. Like there's always eyes on him. That's a really nice theory. And what I think is really interesting about that is even though there's all these fans around him, he is essentially surrounded by fans. He still, for the most part, feels alone and isolated on that island. And we've talked about that before. You can be around a whole bunch of people but still feel lonely. This could be a representation of that. I think that's great. All right, let's move to the. Let me see this part again here.
So I'ma sing the song and your body go so. 겨우 뱉어내는 숨 들이키는 법은 잊은 듯내 자신에게 너그러워지기까지가 난 제일 어려워. 이지라고 생각이 들어 나에게 주어지는 빛이 넓어지는 무드와 달리 마음속 내가 있는 곳은 한편 남지. I'm in trouble.
Now, I'm going to take this scene here with the green and on top of the box. I want you to take that out of it for now. Okay? Just ignore that. But we have him here in this room. Nothing might stand out to you. Something might stand out to you. Between this and the mirror room, does anything feel symbolic to the overall vibe of the song that you think works or matches? Depth. Okay. Yep. Very deep room, deep shot. Okay. Oh, it feels like no rest. That's interesting. And you know why I think that's most interesting? We have this very large room with all of this space, but that window and the sunlight coming in is literally on that bed. There is no reprieve. There is no rest. Your ass is going to be awake and aware forever. There is no rest from that type of energy, that type of focus. Interesting. No personal touches, very lonely, kind of sterile. Okay. Yeah, there's no decorations on the wall. Okay. The mirror room does feel exposed, right? Feels like he's lost in himself, lost in his mind, maybe. Interesting. Yep. More isolation. Yep. Lost, I think, is a good word. Not quite sure where to go. Every direction feels like you're getting the same result. Yeah, which one is you? That's a good one. Impermanence, very nice. That's a good one. Hard to tell which one is the real him. A trap, maybe. Okay. Very nice, folks. Very nice. Now, this one gets a little deeper. Now, what do you see here? I don't know if we're going to get a bunch of different shots of this, but there's something significant, potentially significant, symbolically, visually here that I think we should dissect a little bit. What do you think it is? What are your thoughts? I can give you a hint if you need. Okay. Barriers are trapped, no strings attached. The web is probably like a pass. The webs and ropes. Okay. Interesting. So if we take the rope symbolically, historically, can mean a whole bunch of things, right? We don't even have to go into depth on that. You know what I'm talking about. But we take that and then we kind of extrapolate that. We kind of break it down. If you notice, there are different stages of the rope, from the rope itself being whole and strong to it's been kind of worn down. It's been torn apart. And that's where you get the different levels. So if we look at the rope, let's just say in 3 stages. We've got the rope down here that's together. It's strong. It's one piece. I think that up here, this is kind of like stage 2. It's been kind of pulled apart, but it still has some, I don't know, some structure to it. And then this can also still be like, let's just say it's a current threat. I like the web idea that you said. I really like that. But then here at the very bottom is like the stage 3, where it's been so pulled apart that it is just kind of useless and means nothing. It's weak. It's like water under the bridge. So I almost might look at this like, and this is really a stretch. It's all just theoretical. This stuff right here is the stuff that he has pulled apart and overthought and dealt with for years. He literally can't break this and process more than any further than he could. This is the stuff that he's dealing with now. And then all of this, that fresh rope, is still stuff that needs to be dealt with, or it's stuff that will be dealt with in the future. Just a theory. But I think the different stages of the rope is important. Could be the feeling of tied down and it's showing the struggles to fight back. Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you notice, there's a couple shots, and I think they're brief shots. They never really put it out there. But there's like little hints to it. And that's like this shot right here. We have this indoor, and I'll say it's a prison, whether it's a mental prison, an emotional prison, or even like the physical prison of not actual jail, but the prison of being locked into something, whether that's a contract, whether it's expectations, people's, ideas of you, whatever it could be. But outside the window, it's so close yet so far away that there's this beauty out there. There's this freedom out there, but he can't quite get to it. Just another piece. This was the shot I was thinking of. This is very alone, very isolated. But what I think is interesting, that is the difference in the contrast from this scene to this last scene we just talked about, where there's a world outside this window. When we went to this other scene that we just hit with the field outside, the sky outside, there's a life out there, there's a freedom out there. In this window, there's nothing. There's literally nothing out there. It seems like there could be something out there, there should be something, but there isn't. And the fact that the sun is coming in, his chair is in that light, potentially going back to the idea that there is no rest, there is no break from this, but also through that window, there's kind of nothing there. I don't know. Positioning makes me think being viewed under a microscope. I think that works too. Yep. This goes back to the prison idea, being locked in. Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. Even if he can escape, there's nothing out there for him potentially. Now, when we go, now look at this. Look at the difference between this shot and the last one we just described where his chair was in the sun. Now, there's no more chair. He's closer to that window of whatever's on the other side, and the color is completely gone. So, symbolically, this is a very, very different shot.
I'm in trauma, it's got me sad. Stuck in trauma, 노래나 부를래. Blah 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 blah, 아니 저저왜. This my trauma, and now it's got me sad. Sad. Trauma, and now it's got me sad.
Interesting. So maybe this is just the first time I've noticed this shot. I know the rooms are joined in one long tunnel because we do see the reveal of each one as it progresses. But this is, aside from the last shot where we see the whole hallway, this is the first time in the video that I remember seeing two people together in one shot that's not on top of the box. And I do separate that scene because I think that's just more of a, hey, there's the four of them together. I don't know if there's much of a meaning to it. There might be. It might be that they're all battling something quietly, but together. You know? I don't know.
Stuck in trauma, 노래나 부를래. That's my trauma, my trauma. Yeah, slowly sing, yeah, 노래 소리도 줄어들겠지. Still don't want to see.
Now, I could see these holes as one of two things, me personally. I could see these holes as bullet holes, like an attack, like he feels like he's always under attack, or I could see it as like the holes that you put in a box for a pet. I think both of those work. Like he feels like he's locked in that prison we talked about. And he's just living this very, very restricted life.
Sing, yeah, 노래 소리도 줄어들겠지. Still don't want to sing, yeah, 누구든 좋으니. 여기서 꺼내줘, 아니면 너라도 들어와 줘. Now it's got me sad.
And I think at this point, aside from this, like this kind of makes sense. We talked about the rope. We talked about the fact that they might be going through stuff individually, but also kind of together, or at least they acknowledge the fact there's four of them singing the song. They all wrote their own verses. So we're acknowledging the fact that each of them is going through something. And then I love the fact they put it all together in one shot at the end. Very, very nice. And the reveal along the way with the walls moving out, the different color palettes, the shift to black and white. Wow, this is a good one. This is a good one, a deep dive. That was great. I really like that. You know what I think would have been, and again, everything we've talked about, whether I'm saying it or you're saying it, it's all just theories, right? We're just guessing at stuff. What I think would have been a nice touch, and it's just a tiny detail, but if some of what we are theorizing is correct, if we were to take these four different themes or stories or feelings or whatever, and let's say we had to give them some numerical value of severity, right? There's a difference between somebody feeling like a little lost and extremely lost. And we put those four things on a spectrum. And I'm not asking you to give these four a numerical value. That's not what I'm saying. But if we did, and we started the video with the most simplest one, the one that everybody kind of has some kind of anxiety, right? We start with that one. And then each time the wall is pulled away and we reveal the next one, it's actually like the next stage. The next stage of fear, the next stage of isolation, the next stage of grief. So eventually when we go through and then the next one gets pulled, when we eventually get to that next, the final end of the hallway, it's the deepest level of what we are experiencing through this video. And I think that build would bring you through this journey in a way that I think it would be more relatable to more people, because if you start with the most relatable thing in the very beginning of the video, you're going to get pretty much everybody. Everybody experiences some level of anxiety, some level of fear. And at this point where we are in the world, it seems like that's just the way it is now. And then you get to stage 2, you might lose half those people that don't know what it feels like to be X and fill in the blank. And then as you go further, you might lose more, but you had everybody at the beginning, and then you're kind of easing them into the journey of what it feels like to take this voyage, if you will. Like it's very deep, but and that's just an idea. I don't think they need to change anything. I think that just would have been a nice touch if what we're saying is even remotely close. Oh, good stuff. Oh, I really enjoyed that, man. That was really good.